So welcome to part 2 of the disaster recovery section as part of the solopreneur survival guide, where we're going to talk about backing up your computer and keeping all your files that you need, all the critical files backed up at home or in the office. So part 1 we talked about syncing things to the cloud in real time. Now it's going to be a bit more structured and keeping periodic backups that you need for you. So what does that look like? So back up your files periodically. So what do I mean? Use some software that's installed on your computer to back up to a secondary hard drive. So that means that the computer you use a lot, whether it's your laptop or a PC or a MacBook, you put in software on there and you're going, these are all the parts of my computer that I want backing up, and it's going to go to this location. Now it doesn't have to be a physical hard drive. Personally, I use an external USB terabyte hard drive, but you could probably use cloud providers and things like that again. But this is another option. It's another advanced option that I like to use on top of the cloud syncing as well. So it's great with this one because you can choose what files to back up. So it gives you more controls of which files and folders you can back up. The cloud sync, it all goes into one structure and then that all gets copied up. You can do some sort of tinkering with that, but this one's a little bit easier to go, right, in this folder I want that, over there I want this, over here I've got that. It's a good way of giving you full control. It's also doing this, especially if you're doing your own hard drive, like I do. If you're concerned about privacy, concerned about Microsoft, Google, Apple, who's your third-party provider, Amazon, Dropbox, having the data, because you've got sensitive data, you may be saving passwords. I don't know, I don't recommend that. But let's say you're doing something like that you've got sensitive data that you don't want it going up into the cloud. This is the files that are on your computer at home, and the location that you own and you know where they're saved. It's something that you can do and you've got access to. Another benefit of this, again, it's a bit more, all this is harder to implement than the cloud sync, but it's more control and sort of the backups are stored for longer, so you can recover deleted files. So for example, for me recently, I think I deleted a spreadsheet with something, or I deleted a file or a folder or something. Oh, that was it. Yeah, I deleted a folder that had some key data in it, and I was like, oh, I definitely need that. And like a day later, I really need that. And it takes a little bit longer, but I went to the backups, looked through, and I could actually see this backup had the folder with all the files in. So I downloaded that, got it out, unzipped the backup, got it out, put it back on my computer, and I was back up and running. So this is a really, really good structure that you can do to sort of give you a little bit more of a timeline of what's happened on a computer and try and go back and find it if you realise soon enough. Depends on what control you've put in your retention. So this is what I've done. For example, I've got a C drive which has got all my critical files on, and then if you can see underneath the C drive I've got a Seagate expansion drive, an F drive. So that's a plug-in USB that's a terabyte in size, and that gets backed up on a daily basis. So as you can see on the right hand side, you've got quite a lot of files there that have got a tag on it, a date, and you can see they've got full and differential, which I'll explain in a minute. That's what they are. So it's doing a backup on a daily basis, and some days even twice, to give us a history. So for example, I recorded this video at the end of sort of 2022. And let's say, it was the 20th of December, but I was like, I've deleted something on the 25th or the 26th of November. I can go back and do that, and you've got this retention policy on it, so you can configure how long you're going to keep these backups, and you've just got full control in it, and it's really, really easy to get back up and running if something's deleted. Or worst case scenario, again, like I say, all your files go off your computer, your hard drive goes, you install a new hard drive, or you get a new computer or whatever it is, you can plug in the external drive, unzip the full backup or the partial backup and get it back up and running. What I'm going to quickly do, actually, I'll just show you what software I use. So I use a piece of software called Macrium Reflect Home. I can never say the first word, Macrium Reflect Home. Now, I'm not affiliated with them, I don't work for them, I don't do any work with them. I've tried a lot of different software over the years, and this one is the combination of ease of use and functionality and options it gives me. It's not the easiest to use, it can be a little bit clunky, but what it gives you for the price as well. I think you have to pay about £50 a year for this piece of software, and it's brilliant. It does exactly what I need it to do, as well as not just this, other advanced options. So yeah, I've used different products, and £50 a year may sound a lot. You know, you might be starting out on your solopreneur journey, money's tight, but this gives you such peace of mind. And for the £50, what the functionality it gives you and what you can do is amazing. And like I say, it rescued me from a key file like being deleted a few months ago, so it's very, very worth it. And what it does, so these are the scheduled backups I've got running, and the one I'm talking about is these scheduled backups. Is this file and folder, and it's called full and incremental backup. So what I've said to it is all these documents in a certain folder. Sorry, it doesn't go in that folder, but I wonder if it can let me do it, edit schedule. I won't go into changing anything, but I've selected a lot of files and folders, and what I've selected it to do is I want it to do a full backup of everything I've selected at 2 AM every Friday of every week. So it'll go, okay, so let's say I've ticked 10 different folders across my computer. 2 AM Friday goes, right, I'm going to take all them folders, everything in them folders, I'm going to pull them over here. I'm going to create a zip file, a backup zip file with them, and I'm going to save it to the external hard drive. And you can see the tasks. It last ran on the 6th at 2 AM, so you can see it launched and ended. So that has been done. And then what I do is I also do a differential backup. Now this sounds a bit more complicated. So what that'll do is it knows it's taken a full backup on the Friday at 2 AM, and any changes that have happened over that week. So on the Saturday it'll go, right, have you created any files, changed any files? Yeah, so what it'll do, it'll take a snapshot of them, do a little backup and move that across as well. So it's doing little changes as well. So you've got a full backup, little changes throughout the week, another full backup, little changes. So if you do delete something, you can just go to, and it's between full backups, you can go to the differential files, find it and extract it. Or like I say, worst case scenario, your computer goes down, you go, right, well, I've got all the files and all the changes, I can just go and apply them back to my computer, and you can see that all these tasks have been ended, and you've got files of giving you all the options. And as you can see, I'm backing up things like content and contacts, videos, projects, pictures, downloads. So you've got this full history of what's going on. So it's a really, really cool way of backing up your computer and having a lot more control of it and control of where it's stored. So that's it for this section of the disaster recovery, where we're using the software to do periodic backups. So join me in the next section. So what I'm going to do in the next section, in part 3 of disaster recovery, is actually talk a bit more advanced about cloning. As you can see here, I've already got it on the screen, but I'm going to go into the techniques and tips about using that. So join me on that next video.